Rajiv, and in this video I am going through the concept of balancing redox equations. Redox equations are the equations in which both reduction and oxidation reactions are occurring simultaneously. So let's start understanding the balancing. The very first thing is how we will calculate the oxidation state of an element. So we are going through some rules which are used for calculating oxidation state of an element. The very first rule is that all the elements which are present in their native state, their oxidation state is considered as 0. That means all the elements would be having oxidation state 0 when they are present in their native state. That means iron in solid state would have 0 oxidation state. Similarly, hydrogen gas in gaseous state, in a diatomic state, would have 0 oxidation state. Similarly, sulfur in octatomic state have 0 oxidation state. Phosphorus in tetraatomic state would have 0 oxidation state. So the gist of this rule is any element which is in unreacted state, in this rule we don't consider diatomic, triatomic or a polyatomic state as a reacted state. So any element which is in unreacted state, its oxidation state would be considered as 0. The exemption is only in case of homoatomic species, but this exemption is not valid in case of heteroatomic species. Homoatomic species are those species in which similar elements are bonded together, but a heteroatomic species mean when two different types of elements are bonded to form a compound. The second rule is that group 1 elements, when present in their respective compounds, their oxidation state is considered as +1. This means that the elements of group 1, that is sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, when present in their respective compounds, then the oxidation state of these elements would be considered as +1. Some other elements like hydrogen, silver also possess +1 oxidation state. The compound state means when element of group 1 is bonded to some other elements. For example, in sodium hydroxide, sodium is bonded to hydrogen and oxygen. So oxidation state of sodium would be +1 in sodium hydroxide. Similarly, in potassium sulfate, the oxidation state of potassium would be +1. The next rule deals with group 2 elements and they possess +2 oxidation state. The elements are beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. When they are present in their compounds, their oxidation state would be +2. Some other elements like zinc, cadmium also possess +2 oxidation state. The compound state means in magnesium chloride, magnesium is possessing +2 oxidation state. Similarly, in calcium chloride, calcium is possessing +2 oxidation state. Likewise, in copper sulfate, copper is possessing +2 oxidation state. Copper, zinc and cadmium are not group 2 elements as per periodic table, but still they are considered in this rule because their most common oxidation state is +2. The next rule is for group 13 elements. The in-between elements, those are transition elements, are neglected because they possess variable oxidation states. Now coming on to group 13. In case of group 13 elements, boron, aluminium and gallium show +3 oxidation state. But as we move down the group, the tendency to show +1 oxidation state increases. That is, indium and thallium shows +1 oxidation state, and the reason is inert pair effect. That I would be dealing in some another video. I have just missed writing elements of group 1. So group 1 elements that would possess +1 oxidation state would be sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, hydrogen and silver. Hydrogen and silver are not group 1 elements, but their common oxidation states are +1. Similarly, the group 2 elements would be beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, copper, zinc, cadmium. Copper, zinc and cadmium are not group 2 elements. Now going through compounds of group 3 elements, aluminium chloride, in which aluminium is possessing +3 oxidation state. Similarly, in boron trifluoride, boron is possessing +3 oxidation state. Another example is aluminium sulfate, in which aluminium is possessing +3 oxidation state. Likewise, we can go to the compounds of different elements and find out the oxidation state of the element in that specific compound. Now moving on to another rule, that is for group 16 elements, specifically oxygen, it possesses -2 oxidation state, and this oxidation state is the most common oxidation state for oxygen. It also possesses -1 and -1/2 oxidation state. -1 and -1/2 oxidation states of oxygen are possessed in peroxide and superoxides. Now moving on to the next group is halogen family, that is fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Now they commonly possess -1 oxidation state when they are bonded with an electropositive elements, but they have an exception when they are bonded to more electronegative element than itself, then they can possess a positive oxidation state. That's all in this video, to be continued in part 2. Thanks for watching the video.